EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Set in the South Pacific Ocean, surrounded by islands, today we're here at magnificent Treasure Island. It's an unlikely location for a golf course, but the creators of EA Sports have built a treasure of a layout here. Can you say X marks the spot? You never know what you'll find at the 8th hole. Hello, this is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, here to bring you all the action for today's event. Whenever you hear about Treasure Island, Frank, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, you need a map rather than a yardage book to get around here, Rich. Holes themselves are an amazing eclectic bunch of, pleasure, pain, and of course a little bit in between, which I'll let you find out for yourself. Treasure? There might be some out there. Some off the beaten track as well. But golf's a weird game. Take all your clubs, choose which one you want to use them wisely, and use them sparingly. And Treasure Island, it might just reward you.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, I'll tell you, what Poulter did at the 2012 Ryder Cup will go down in history as one of the most electric moments in the game. Europe was reeling. He made 5 straight birdies, igniting the comeback, or as they call it, the miracle at Medina.
And he also made us very aware of what bug eyes are.
This is a good-looking shot. Birdie attempt coming up for Ian. This is the second shot at the par 4. Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to 2.
After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
Ian Poulter to win the hole. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Getting set now over the putt. So after all that, it's a bogey. This would give the hole to Ian Poulter. And that gives him the hole. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Frank, here at the par 3 second, a player has to be really careful because you could take one across the bow.
And you've got to hit it with a cannon down here, long par 3. You get close to that green, you see the water on the right there, plus the waterfall. Our little commentary box up there, hopefully it doesn't get ransacked during the course of play. Green well protected, as you'd expect, by 2 bunkers. You never know what you find in these bunkers.
You and I have been positioned in some really nice spots in our commentary boxes through the years. Pebble Beach, along the cliffs of the Pacific Ocean, the old course at St. Andrews. This might be the most unusual spot, a treehouse.
It is, especially when we go to walk across that bridge.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Well, this is straight at it.
And it's a really good line. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Good putt. Frank, this is an amazing tee ball that the player is asked to hit. You need to be down that left side. That's obvious. But you don't want to go too far left. That is also obvious.
Yeah, too far left and you'll be more than shipwrecked. This is the first par 5 at Treasure Island. A good one down that left side, obviously between the water and mountain range. And you just might be able to get home in too.
Can't tell, Frank. Do you think there's a way to go down that right side?
There is a secret passage, but I can't tell you.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
That's a good start to the hole. Right down the middle.
He's going for a little extra. Ball just took off the face.
Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.
Second shot.
Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work. Should be safely on deck.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Hey, Frank, I heard you had a talking parrot as a caddy out here. I know he kept saying, bad shot, bad shot.
He did.
Good looking shot right here. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. He wins the hole. And in for birdie. Here at the fourth, Frank, what's the best way to take on this hole?
It has to be a good tee shot, Rich. It's a dogleg left, but you don't really worry about that fact. Worry about the fact that the fairway is anything other than straight. So somehow just find a little sliver of fairway. Then you can find that second shot that much more involved.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here. And that gives him the hole. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Well, this hole, Frank, is quite a design. Not a long hole, but there's trouble.
There certainly is, but I would say this is a birdie hole for most. Short par 4. Good tee shot's just going to leave you a little pitch in there. A lot of little features along the way, but really just keep it between the skull on the right and the mountain on the left.
See, but that could be distracting, the skull rock formation on the right.
Well, just don't skull your tee shot.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Birdie attempt coming up for Ian. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him. Never looked like missing.
Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Sixth hole now at Treasure Island, Frank. This is a severe downhill par 4.
A series of tee boxes here to play, but you're right, Rich. Just sort of tee it up there, let that ball float a little further because of the downhill. Tee shot wants to be left of that huge needle rock to the player's right. And from there, once again, you're not going to have a long second shot to a green that is very, very kind.
You are going to have some really good views from up here. That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a full melody now.
He'll need to be strong with this.
Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back, he didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Well, Frank, this is some hole. This is a par 5, the 7th. It snakes its way all across the island.
You think in a direct route you could be able to reach this par 5 and 2, but the rock down the distance nearly makes that second shot impossible to try and carry out. He goes after it like he is here.
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I've ever seen. Just let it rip. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Looks to be putting everything into this one. Just destroyed it. Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. Frank, Ian Poulter looks good, and he's playing very well.
Yeah, when he gets that cocky attitude, that strut down the fairway, he will string one birdie after another.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
What an outstanding shot that was.
Got the right result, too. It's just a tap-in.
Frank, I think what sets golf apart from other sports is that the fan can get so close to the great athlete as the round is being played.
Yeah, well, that's why the sport itself, and we consider it more intimate for that reason. You know, most golf spectators play the game. Whereas other sports, you don't see NFL players sitting in the grandstand. You see spectators, but most golf fans are golfers.
Ian Poulter has this for birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. Got it for par. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Now at the 9th hole, Frank, not surprisingly, it's called Mermaid.
That's right. Just keep a little left there down that fairway. And really, it could be called Shipwrecked as well, because that's the line in the distance. Not overly long, not exactly straight. Just exactly what you'd expect at Treasure Island.
The Pirates certainly left their mark on this hole. Look at this. Look at all the power in that coil. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Ian Poulter going for the green on his second shot. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Second shot. Good look at the green. He wins the hole. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Getting ready to start the back nine here. We're on the pirate ship at the 10th hole. Two paths to choose from here, partner.
Well, there certainly is, Rich. Chance to hit the tee shot off the deck. Wider fairway on the left, but if you're game, and I mean very game, that little hint of fairway down the right side. But are you good enough?
You need to be bold to play it down there. In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Second from an excellent lie. What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
And that gives him the hole.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Moving on to the 11th, it's a par 5 right in the middle of Buccaneer Bay. And Frank, this is an ingenious design.
You got to keep both hands on the wheel here, Rich, because there's so many choices involved. Really 5 fairways to hit at, and then there's a landing area in the distance if you can't reach this par 5 and 2. Obviously, the further right you go, the shorter the hole gets. But look how much smaller the fairway gets.
Every once in a while you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence.
It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole.
Wow, I thought he made that. Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard. Well done.
Frank, here at the 12th, again, you need to make a trip across a couple islands.
Well, that's the thing with Buccaneers Bay. All those choices to be made. There's 5 places, really, to find dry ground. The first 3 for the mere mortals. But if you really want to power up on your EA Sports game, look at the 2 in the distance. You hit something special, you just might find land.
Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Ollie and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams, pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5 was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to salivate over.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here.
Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did. Second shot.
In the water. Too bad. So the previous shot into the drink. This now the fourth shot.
Don't blame the computer on this one. This is way offline.
It's not a glitch. He wins the hole. Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away instead. Straight in. Amazing shot. And really deserves it.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
310 yards and straight. You can win with that. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Well, no other way to say it, Frank. That's just an awful shot.
Bad.
That has to feel good. That's a birdie. You love to watch them disappear, don't you?
Frank, the thing about Treasure Island is at any point a player could stop and consider just where they are. And if they're not where they need to be mentally, they could really be thrown off their game. And you're right at the base of a volcano here.
Well, it's a chance for your round to heat up, too.
Excellent position and just a huge shot. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. From 135 yards out. Frank, can you recall a situation where before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot, where the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move, or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking might get it close, and just a great shot.
Frank, this is where you begin to see almost this ingenious, evil nature of this design by the Pirates here at Treasure Island. It gets punishing to the finish.
It certainly does, Rich. This is also where we start our ascent to the summit of Devil's Cauldron with just a little tempting par 3. Just goes across. It has to be flighted well across the ravine, but it's got to be up, it better be high, and it better be long enough.
The grind is about to begin here at the par 3 15th. Each hole from here on out climbing up to the top of the volcano. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Still from 141 yards out, it's a green light special.
should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. So they'll tap in. And that's a birdie. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Frank, the climb continues here at the 16th. Tricky, especially off that tee. You can see there's trouble there on the left.
Devil's elbow. That's why it's called that, Rich. Aim a little far left, or don't find the landing strip, and you will pay a severe price on this dogleg right par 4. Plus, the green is just sort of cut right into the side of the volcano. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee. Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Frank, through the years we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Holter now, third shot. way. He holed it, Frank.
Great pitch up.
And getting ready for the putt. Frank, this is kind of like walking the plank here at the 17th hole. Zero margin for error.
Yeah, the hole bends to the left a little bit like a boomerang. But just to find the fairway takes something with nerve, precision, and a lot of guts. From there, it shouldn't be a difficult second shot. But like I said, find the fairway. You need nerve.
Frank, one of our colleagues at Golf Channel, Brian Hammond's always liked to say, keep it in the short grass. It is nice to play from the fairway.
The game's so much easier from the fairway. Less decisions to be made. You don't have to worry about a flyer or the lip in front of the bunker or a tree. The game almost appears straightforward from there.
The second shot now to the par 4. Seems to like it. Headed for the back part of the green. Has only 90 yards here. That gives him the hole.
Oh, what an incredible shot.
So for my partner Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from Treasure Island in the South Pacific.